Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another AlphaStar commentary. We are on the map Kairos Junction today, and in the top left-hand side of the map, we have this guy who keeps showing up in these Starcraft games. It is AlphaStar. AlphaStar bringing out some Zerg play today, and gonna be taking on a Protoss Platinum player, so we've never ever seen AlphaStar play anyone lower than a Platinum player. Maybe there's a Gold player in the replays somewhere, which I think would be very, very amusing. But particularly the Gold player one. But yeah, Platinum is as low as AlphaStar goes, and it's going to be a tall order for this platypus to take on AlphaStar. We are continuing on our quest, though, to cast every AlphaStar game, so that's just the way she goes. Interestingly enough, we have a 1 base from both players from the theme of things. The Platinum player looking to get his wall up, but I'm not sure how well that's going to go, as his pylon's miles away. He's going to need another pylon. He's gone double gas. Okay, this is a freestyle wall, but I am kind of concerned for the Platinum player, as AlphaStar is firing up a spawning pool. Gonna be going for one of those early aggressive plays. It does sometimes as Zerg. 1 or 2 of the iterations will mix in some 1-based plays, even if it's not AlphaStar's staple. Now, we take a look. We see the Platinum players hiding something to the top right-hand side of the map. If it's seeing as how he's Protoss, it's usually a Stargate, maybe a Dark Shrine. That's about all it can be. Probably a Dark Shrine if I had to say it so far off on the map. And there's always a chance DTs will get something done. Zealot is on the way next for the Platinum player, and this is good timing, seeing as how AlphaStar hasn't made any lings yet, seeing as how AlphaStar hasn't committed any aggression. The Platinum player isn't just gonna die because of his weird wall, which is good to see. It's good to have a game that goes on, but the Platinum player has also forgotten to start his cybernetics core, it would seem. And if you're going to be throwing up a proxy Stargate or a Twilight Council or something, you gotta have the cybernetics core up. Looks like AlphaStar did actually commit to a few lings, actually. I didn't know about this. And looking at those lings, it actually brings something interesting to mind. Well, for starters, there's 4 of them, so let's try and hit 4 likes on this video, ladies and gentlemen. But my actual point that I was gonna make is that I wonder how AlphaStar knows about walls that aren't solid, how it reacts. This brings it on because this wall for the Platinum player is definitely not a solid wall. Lings could slip past here. But to my understanding, the way AlphaStar learns is that basically if something works, then it'll just say, okay, that in that specific scenario works, but it won't necessarily have the concept of, oh, that's not a solid wall if it's like in a different situation or something. And so I wonder if AlphaStar understands the concept of whether a wall could not be solid, and lings could maybe slip through. That's my question. I mean, that's just me wondering a little bit. That comes to my mind. Now, we see AlphaStar is going to be making a ton of Zerglings against this Platinum player. The Platinum player is going to be holding at the top of his ramp very wisely, as he's going to be getting his Stargate on the way. He's made a lot of Zealots, making some Adepts, but I'm not sure how well this is going to go against AlphaStar's mass Ling play we'll be seeing. I mean, versus a giant Ling flood at the 4-minute mark, 1 basing isn't the worst thing in the world, but these Zealots and Adepts could actually be caught out and just killed. The Platinum player has the Stargate finished, but isn't doing anything. We see these Zealots and Adepts could be in trouble. The Lings are there for AlphaStar, keeping him scared. As AlphaStar says, okay, there's no base to kill, so I guess I'll make a bunch of drones. The Platinum player is going for the most delayed Oracle Rush we have ever seen. And then we take a look. An Overlord just hanging over the Platinum player's lack of base so far. A shield battery is even going to get built up by the Platinum player. Is he just going to go for like a 1-base attack against AlphaStar? Just counter AlphaStar's aggression with his own aggression? Maybe bring the Oracle to the front to fight? That would be a god tier play. I am quite concerned for the Platinum player, though. Making tons of Adepts and Zealots off 1 base isn't optimal Protoss play. He's going to have Warp Gate, though. I mean, he's going to be able to maybe go for an attack or something. He's got 1 Oracle out. he's going to be building another. What is the plan for the Platinum player? Now we see these Adepts and Zealots are going to move out on the map from what I can see. Roaches coming out as well for AlphaStar, or a Roach Warren at least. Let's see how well this attack is going to work, but man, is this ever a lot of Zerglings for AlphaStar. Oh my gosh, they're totally just going to run right on by. This is 55 Lings for AlphaStar, but I'll say it looks like even more. That Zealot's on hold position, but that is not a solid wall. AlphaStar does back off, though. Does it not understand the solid wall concept? I don't know. The Platinum player is moving across the map with his own attack. AlphaStar can pull these Lings back to deal with this. The Oracles are going to be moving in for the Platinum player. Here we go. He's going to give it the good old college try as these Zealots and Adepts are engaging the Queens, but neither are particularly good against them. The Oracles fly in. They don't activate their Pulsar Beams because this is Platinum League, and AlphaStar is just going to wreck yet another StarCraft 2 player. This one wasn't even fair. This one was just clubbing baby seals. Yeah, the Platinum player was definitely not on AlphaStar's level. Looks like the rest of the units are going to come across the map, but that's not going to go well. Yeah. May the Platinum player rest in peace. And they're gone. Okay, yeah, we take a look. Ling's just moving across the map. Roach is moving across the map. AlphaStar is like, oh, you're still just on one base? What are you doing with that, being just on one base still? Now, Lings are gonna attack on him. The Stalker's trying to hold the shield battery, doing what it can, but it will run out of juice too quickly. Stalkers aren't the best against Lings, so Adepts would have been better. But at this point, I don't think anything could save our friend from Platinum League. He's warping in a few more Stalkers. I don't think he's going to hold. The Ling Flood is crashing through the door, and the Stalkers, the probes, everything inside are now in trouble. AlphaStar is going for the hard W, and GG gets called. Yet another one in the bag. All right, into the next game of AlphaStar. The map is going to be a new repugnancy, so a different map. The matchup is going to be a different one. This time, as opposed to Alpha Z, we've got Alpha T. The day AlphaStar loads in as a different race that isn't one of the three is the day I am thoroughly shocked. Masters player playing Zerg, taking on AlphaStar, doing the extractor trick. And then just going to be going for his hatchery, so... Interestingly enough, just does the extractor trick, gets up to 15 drones, and then sends the drone out on the map. What's this guy up to? Oh, is he just scared of proxy racks? You are so smart, Zerg player. Proxy racks are something to fear. They are the boogeyman in the night for Zerg. Make sure before you go to bed, check underneath where you sleep for a proxy 2 rack. You never know when a Terran player could pull that out. Drone gonna be just checking out, saying, okay, it's probably fine. It's safe to expand. And the Masters player breathes a deep sigh of relief. And I think everyone breathes a deep sigh of relief on the fact that AlphaStar doesn't actually go for a Proxy 2 Racks ever. That would be scary. A Proxy 2 Racks machine just unleashed on the ladder destroys everyone's StarCraft 2 experience with just unlimited proxies. Now, we see a spawning pool is on the way for the Masters player, so normal Zerg stuff. Everything is normal, all the while AlphaStar going for the good old Reaper Expand. Reaper Expand, pretty much the only build Terran can go for in TVZ, besides Proxy 2 Racks. Proxy 3 Racks, yeah, there's like nothing else. I guess you can go CC first in some scenarios, but it's so rare, and we never see it, that it's just an afterthought. Yeah, it's really just Reaper Expand for days for the Terran. Next, we see the Factory gonna be going on up. The Reaper and Factory, normal TVZ stuff. Marine, then it'll be a reactor, a supply depot, maybe a starport after that, couple of Hellions, all that good stuff. The Reaper now is gonna be crossing the map for AlphaStar, heading towards the Masters player's base. The Master player does already have Lings popping out, got Queens on the way. Very safe opening. Ling speed does need to start for the Masters player, though. That is interesting. He's seemingly delayed that a bit, so he can start up his third base right away. In comes the Reaper, jumping into the main base. Lings are going to chase after this guy. The Reaper is a jerk, tosses down a grenade, and sends drones flying everywhere comically, but that is not enough to kill any Fortunately, the Reaper Grenade had its damage nerfed quite a while ago at this point. AlphaStar is going to be going for an Alpha Starport. I guess we could just call it an Alpha Port. If I don't know. But we've got Marines, potentially a Siege Tank on the way next. So the AI not going to be playing a Hellion heavy style, which I'd say is quite notable. All the while, the Masters player just going to be getting up Pneumatized Carapace, wanting to scout out exactly what AlphaStar is going for, which is a Siege Tank, some Marines, a Starport. This will seem a little bit odd. Opening tank first in TVZ is not a common thing at all these days. So AlphaStar going for it makes me wonder, will it be aggressive? Is it just defensive? Is it going to go like just go into a CC and go for a third CC and then maybe some light harassment with a Banshee as it throws up this tech lab and use the tank and Marines for defense? It is really tough to say, but all we see is AlphaStar building yet another siege tank, so committing quite a few resources to that. Getting that tank up and then doing so actually delays a potential Banshee. It delays the cloak for said Banshee. Looks like a Banshee will be getting fired up. There's a tech lab on that. Cloak hasn't been spotted yet for the Masters Zerg player, so for all we know, AlphaStar is kind of faking out his opponent, making him think he's going Raven or something. The Zerg player is floating quite a few minerals. He's going to want to remedy that. He fires up 3 Overlords. Looks like he has had a nasty supply block. The Banshee has been spotted, or the Starport has been spotted, so we'll probably want to see a spore or two at least for the Masters player, because we all know what AlphaStar's Banshees can do. I feel like AlphaStar's Banshees mainly wreck Protoss players, but it has won games with Banshees in every matchup. Third CC is indeed on the way for AlphaStar, so just going to be playing that way. I fully don't expect it to have a proper wall off, but with the tanks on the high ground, it should be more than fine to defend any potential aggression. First Banshee going to be moving across the map, flies right in view of that Overlord. The Zerg player moved that Overlord, so we know he saw that. There's 1 Spore Crawler starting, 2 Spore Crawlers starting. Is there a third? Yes, we have 3. Now, a Baneling Nest is going up for the Masters player, and he should be fine just to continue droning up normally, get to a very healthy count, seeing as how AlphaStar is committing to a third base as well. We have got quite a macro TVZ this match between these two players. In comes the Banshee, gonna start killing off a drone, eats a Spore Crawler shot or 2. Just 1, actually, so far. The Queens are gonna need to reposition themselves to help deal with this. There in comes the Queens, but the Banshee has got 2 drones so far, not bad. The Master Zerg player definitely should be repositioning his Queens, seeing as how Cloak is very late for AlphaStar's Banshee, so this Banshee should indeed go down. Looks like it does stay alive. Is it gonna get yet another drone or something? That would be so AlphaStar to do just that. The Zerg player, though, is going to be making a lot of drones, getting up centrifugal hooks, which is great to see, as mass banelings, I think, can be very effective against AlphaStar, except for its mass siege tanks. You don't want to be making massling bane against mass siege tanks. There is actually a point which Zerg does need something other than just ground units to deal with siege tanks, whether it be mutas, whether it be Vipers to help out. AlphaStar is getting Stim +1, Cloak, of course more Banshees, and is... Oh my gosh, what are you doing, AlphaStar? Where are you sending it? AlphaStar's command center is on a journey. I guess this was an AI misclick, I want to say. Okay, it just says fine. Or I guess maybe because the Ling blocked the location, AlphaStar decides to land at CC in such an odd spot, way out there on the map. The Banshees are going to be coming. They will be able to set to work on these Lings to potentially save this. The Lings are going to force the liftoff and get on out of there. Will AlphaStar re-land it on the spot? Yes, it will. It decided that just because of 1 Ling, that this place was not a viable location. So, quite the Alpha derp there, not seemingly understanding it, can just clear it and re-land it in a much safer spot. 4th base is on the way for the Zerg player. Queens are going to have to defend versus these Banshees of AlphaStar, though. An Overseer starts morphing, but in come the Banshees. 3 Queens in position. We'll start shooting them away, though. And the Zerg player is going to be getting up a Spire, so I'm really unsure of the way this game is heading. It's a pretty normal game, despite AlphaStar's odd CC, which it's now going to fix. It says, fine, that spot didn't work either. I'll put it back. I'll try here again. Just an AI going through the AI motions, I guess. Spire will be spotted by AlphaStar. We'll see if it's going to react and throw up some turrets or something like that. That's also another thing that I'd like to point out about the AI. I'm not really sure how it reacts to mutas in most senses. One of the reasons why I wish we had AlphaStar more available to play is so that we could try different strategies on it and see how it react. I think it would be a great learning tool for Starcraft 2, like how does AlphaStar react to a proxy barracks? Or in when it's more regular, like try all sorts of different builds against the AI and see the different responses you get. Now, we do see AlphaStar is looking to move across the map. It's bringing all of its tanks, it's bringing all of its Marines, and it does have quite a force. The Zerg player is making 12 Banelings, but that is not enough if these tanks are sieged up. Even, and if they aren't, it's absolutely... Or, well, if they aren't sieged up, it's still going to be a bit tough. The Banelings do have speed. They're going to try and close the gap. Are the tanks of AlphaStar set up in time? It looks like they are. The Marines actually kite back pretty darn well. Most of the Lings don't actually get on top of the tanks and all get cleaned out. So the Masters player losing a ton of supply. The mutas, even on the other side of the map. Oh, AlphaStar did build a turret and simply repairs it. So all the mutas have gone down. Well, mostly all. And it looks like AlphaStar is just going to be doing another bop, you know. It just powers up to this timing attack. The Zerg player doesn't, I guess, macro in an efficient enough way to be prepared for something like this. It's really cool to see AlphaStar having such a victory with just some light Banshee harassment into a ton of siege tanks, and then it just goes for a huge attack because it makes nothing but Marines. The Zerg player was super duper late with his Banelings, so he only had 12, which was definitely not enough. And yeah, there's no way the Zerg player cleans this up. I think he fires up 34 more Lings. They are +1/1 Lings. But the Banelings are going to need connections on the Marines. They can't really hit the tanks. And yeah, AlphaStar just killed off the Zerg player's 4th base, so the Zerg player's going to rebuild it, but he's got to survive if he's gonna take this game any longer. We see the Banshees for AlphaStar flying in, still being a pain. Looks like some Banelings could be targeted down by AlphaStar, and it looks like it actually is specifically targeting down the Banelings. The mutas are going to come in to help shoo away the Banshees, but with all these tanks on the high ground, it is going to be nearly impossible, I feel, for the Zerg player to clean up. He's looking for a surround, but he's barely got any substance to surround with. The tanks are resieging. The Zerg player is going to pull the trigger on it. He's going for it. The Banelings are rolling forward. They get okay connections. It looks like that a few of the tanks go down, but it's simply not enough. GG gets called. AlphaStar is the winner 2 maps in a row today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this commentary, press that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to it. And join the Discord if you haven't, because whenever I live stream, which has been quite frequently, I ping everyone in the Discord. Of course, it can be turned off, but yeah, it's a good way to keep up with the live streams, in which I stream my own Starcraft experience. And then follow me on Twitter. And if you do enjoy the content, consider becoming a member and checking out the various perks. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. This has been LaughNgamez.